I did promise everyone that I would make a video speaking about my anxiety and how I figured out I had anxiety and how I'm trying to overcome it. I won't say I've overcome it because I'm still trying. But yeah, so I've got a bunch of questions that some of you guys have asked me on Instagram, and I've written them all down in my notes. So I'm going to answer all of them, but I'm kind of going to go at my own pace so that I can explain my story from the beginning to the end, kind of thing. Also, what I wanted to say was, there was actually a boy that messaged me on Facebook a few months ago. His mom passed away, and he said he was getting very similar symptoms to what I had. He couldn't leave the house and he was just battling with his everyday life. So I've been constantly thinking about doing this video, especially for him. I know it's not easy, it's one of the hardest things you can go through, but with anxiety you literally have to just push. So my story is, I think it must have started about 3 years ago. I was still studying and I just was nauseous all the time. Like, I never had that weird anxious feeling. I didn't know what that was, but my main symptom was nausea, and it got so bad to the point that I couldn't do anything. I couldn't eat anything. I lost like 10 kilos in a week, I'm not lying. I was at the hospital every single night getting drips, and no one knew what was wrong. Like, they would always misdiagnose me or say, oh, it's just this, it's this, it's this. And eventually, like, I got so sick and tired of it, because the more they're saying there's nothing wrong, like, you know there's something wrong. And the one night, well, it was actually before that, I went to see a surgeon, and he put a camera down my throat to check if maybe there was something wrong with the inside of my tummy that was causing me to feel nauseous. And went there, he did the camera while I was awake. It was the most horrible experience of my life. And eventually he figured out through my breathing, like, my stomach was fine, there was nothing wrong with my stomach, but he figured out through my breathing that I had anxiety. And that's when he told my mom and dad, like, your daughter's fine, she's got anxiety. So he prescribed me a tablet for it. And I'll never forget, I came home, I took it, like, I was willing to do anything, because when you go, like, feeling the way you feel, it feels like you're literally gonna die, and you'll do anything to just get that feeling taken away from you. So, yeah, I got home, I took the tablet, and unfortunately that tablet that he gave me didn't agree with my body. So it made my anxiety 10 times worse, and with that I got depression with it as well, which I never had before. So all of this happened in about, like, I'd say like a 4-week thing. And then eventually the one night, I'll never forget, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, I was nauseous. My mom gave me tablets for it, and the tablet she gave me I was allergic to, which made me like shaky all the time. And at the time I was dating someone of 3 years, so he knew more or less about anxiety because his sister and, well, his family have suffered with it, so he knew about it, whereas my family had no idea what this was. Like, they kept saying to me, it's all in your head, like, take it out your head. And that is the worst thing that anyone can say to you, because you would never want to feel the way you've felt. So I was dating him, and he became like my comfort person, because he actually understood what I was going through, and that's what you want. You want someone that understands, like, you're not crazy for feeling a certain way. And I phoned him, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I phoned him and I was like, you need to come here. And he came here. It was the weekend, and then eventually I was like, you know what, something's up, like, I need to go to the hospital. Went to the hospital, and the doctor said to me, like, you need to go to the psychiatric ward. And I was like, no, like, I'm fine, I'm not that bad. And he was like, no, the best thing for you right now would be to go there. So I agreed that night. I was willing to do anything. Went there, and I think that's all different for everyone. For me, I was afraid that it would make me worse because I don't like being alone or out of my comfort zone. So I went there, and it was late at night that I got there, so I went straight to bed. Like, my parents left, I went to bed, and the next day you had to go and see the doctor. So I remember phoning my mom and asking her to come get me because I just didn't feel comfortable there. Like, I knew I needed the help, but I knew that I could help myself other than going there. Not saying it's a bad thing at all. I feel like it's helped so many people, but I knew for me it wouldn't. I knew I had to do it on my own. For my mom came, and as my mom got there too, because obviously you can discharge yourself when you're there. My mom came to fetch me, and I had to see the doctor. And I said to him, like, I really don't want to be here. And he was like, why are you here? Like, an amazing doctor. And he gave me medicine, and he said, go home, do this, like, go to a psychologist, speak to people. Whatever you're doing here, you can do at home. So he said, go home, take your medicine, and get better. And after that, I left, went and got medicine, and I started, like, I remember that day I took it, and I was okay. I wasn't 100% at all. I was like 90% better. But, like, it was positivity that, like, there was hope. And eventually, well, after that, I went to the doctor. I started going to a psychologist, spoke to the psychologist. Personally, I don't think that the psychologist I was seeing in the beginning helped at all, because I'm the kind of person that will hold back, like, if I don't know you. Like, I'd rather speak to somebody that I do know than somebody that I don't know at all and tell them my problems. And luckily for me, my cousin studied psychology, so I was also seeing her, and that made it easier. And then she gave me, I'll never forget, I think it was a book where you have, like, a few steps that you have to do. I never completed it, like, I'll be honest, I didn't complete it. But that book was one of the most amazing books, because you have to acknowledge everything. So you acknowledge the way you're feeling, and you don't do it on your phone. Like, you actually sit there with a pen and piece of paper and you do that. So that book was one of the best things for me. And then I would do that, I'd see a psychologist, and then I started CrossFit. I liked gymming, but I was always the kind of person that was always, like, shy, and I always felt uncomfortable in a gym. At CrossFit, like, it was a little bit easier because, like, you have your workout set. Like, there's no time to talk to anyone. You go there, you train, and you leave. That's it, kind of thing. So I started that, and that helped me a lot. And then eventually, after taking the medicine for some time, I was fine. And you'll eventually, like, you figure out, like, what gets your anxiety going or what doesn't. And for a while, I was, like, absolutely perfect, and I was like, okay, I'm okay. Like, I'm still going to take my medicine, but at least I know I'm fine. Like, I don't have anxiety anymore. And then me and my boyfriend broke up of 3 years. And I think I was fine in the beginning because I was learning, like, I was never alone. So, like, I enjoyed the little bit of freedom that I got, and then I hit a downward spiral again. Anxiety was rocket high. And then I went back to the doctor, and he was like, okay, we need to increase your medicine. And that's the worst thing here. Like, after being on it for a year, like, you're supposed to decrease, not increase. So I was just like, okay, you know what, if it's going to help, cool. Increase the medicine, and then I started feeling better. Like, eventually I got through it on my own as well. Because at the same time, like, when you're dealing with a heartbreak, you can't blame your anxiety for that. Like, you have to feel certain things. Like, it's normal to feel certain things. Everybody feels those things. So eventually I dealt with it, and I handled it, and I was fine. And I carried on with my life. I did have anxiety. I'm not going to say I didn't have anxiety every single day, but I had it, like, on the odd occasion, which was fine for me because it wasn't, like, a continuous thing. And then I would say a few months ago, so I was single for a year. A few months ago I met someone, and I think one of the hardest things, like meeting someone, is having to explain your story to them. And I don't think I was ready to explain to someone new, like, I suffer with anxiety, like, this is what you have to do, this is what helps me. Because, like, you don't want people to think, oh my god, this girl is, like, full of issues. So what I tend to do is, like, push people away. Like, if I feel like I've got that anxiety, I will sit in my room, watch movies, and do nothing. Won't speak to anyone, like, don't talk to me, just let me get over it. And I think a lot of people, like, that person as well didn't understand it. But obviously I'm not with that person anymore, but I'm glad, because, like, it taught me, everything in life teaches you a lesson. That taught me that you have to open up to people, and you can't be afraid to tell people your story, because the only way someone can help you is if they understand you. So I learned a lot from that, but afterwards I hit like a really low, because I think I was single for a year and I wasn't relying on anyone, and then I met him, and I think things moved too quickly, too fast, and a lot of people saw that. But I'm the kind of person that was gullible, and I just go with it, like, I'm a hopeless romantic. So things moved fast, like, I really liked him, and then things just didn't work out. So after that I was like fine. I was like super hurt in the beginning though. I remember my best friend would still come here and like just sit and like try and calm me down. And then I decided to do hypnosis. So if you guys don't know what hypnosis is, it's like people straight away think like you're going to be hypnotized. Completely wrong. So basically you just go into like a calm room, like you sit on a nice little chair that you can relax on, and they basically just put you in your subconscious mind, get you to your subconscious mind, and then they start asking you things, and then they pick up a lot of things while you're in that state, and then they wake you up, and then you sit and discuss the things that you told them when you were like, when things that you wouldn't remember, because obviously you like calm and relaxed and like basically asleep. And one of the things that she told me was that I was always scared of being alone, which is something like super true. So my reason for getting hurt so quickly is basically because I get attached to people so quickly. I hate being alone. And she spoke about my anxiety and like the long up and down road that I've had with it. So yeah, and then greatest thing I've ever done after that was definitely turn to gym. Like I was always like, before that I was always like, oh gym, like I like CrossFit. And then I stopped doing CrossFit because it was 3 times a week, and I knew like I was just so busy, like life was so hectic. So when I did have the time to go to a class, I'd rather stay home and just relax and chill, because I was working as well. And then I started gym now, and honestly, like, so I got out of that recent relationship, I changed jobs, and like there was so much change in my life, which you would straight away assume like you're definitely gonna get anxiety. And I did. I got really bad anxiety after that. I didn't want to leave the house or anything. And then I started gymming. So every time I felt like, okay, I can feel like that anxious feeling inside, I'd go and gym. And I promise you till today, like after work, I'll leave work and I'm super anxious, because obviously like that's when you just can have a breather, like after your stressful day. Get to the gym and that feeling's gone completely. Come home, the feeling's gone. So I've completely turned to gym, and if you are suffering with anxiety, I definitely would recommend fitness, because it is one of the greatest things that you can do, not just for your mind, for your body, for everything. It's just such an amazing thing. So yeah, that's my story. I'm still like obviously struggling with it, but I've learned how to cope with it, and I've learned that you have to write down your feelings, you have to acknowledge your feelings, and yeah, I really hope that my story can help you guys understand my anxiety a little bit better, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed my first proper vlog. Thank you for watching, guys.